Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. It feels so good to say that. It's been so long since I filmed a video. It's ridiculous, I know. Life has been crazy, school, makeup, stuff has been happening. But I am really trying hard to get back into YouTube. I know you guys miss the videos. You guys comment and tell me all the time on Instagram, so I am back to uploading. I cannot promise that I will be on a perfect schedule, but I can promise that I will try to upload whenever I get the chance for you guys. So I am back for now. I hope that you guys enjoy this video, and today we are going to be talking about the brand new 2018 Anastasia Beverly Hills launch. I did do this whole look that I'm wearing right now using all of the brand new products. Not all of them, but you know, as much as I possibly could fit on my face. I'll have the time on the screen right here if you just want to skip ahead and go to the tutorial where I demo these products for you guys. But if you're interested in hearing a little bit more about the products, seeing swatches and all that good stuff, then just keep watching. So the first thing I'm going to talk about today is the Soft Glam palette. The Soft Glam palette retails for $42. So let's talk about the packaging. It comes in this really nice felt material. So opening her up, mine's a little messy because I have been using her the past couple days. I've actually been dipping into this palette a lot. There's a lot you can do with it. So in this palette, there are 9 mattes and 5 shimmers, if I did count that correctly. So as you can see, there's just a wide range of shades. A lot of them are brown tones, gold tones, pink tones, everything you really need for a neutral eye. Now, a lot of people were kind of disappointed because there was no real color in this palette, but I saw some people say that it would be great for bridal makeup, for everyday basic makeup, which I would have to agree. If you're not someone who loves wearing a bunch of color, this palette is definitely for you. It's super neutral and flatters so many different eye colors, skin complexions. It's just very complimentary, and I feel like the average everyday makeup wearer will absolutely love this palette. So I am going to go ahead and swatch a few of these shades for you guys. So first I'm going to go ahead and swatch Tempera. Now the shade Tempera is described as the ultra matte velvety beige on the website. Just a very nice creamy shade to brighten up your eye look and add some highlights wherever you may need it on the eye. The next shade is Glistening. The shade Glistening on the website is described as an iridescent gold with a hint of pink reflect, which is very true. When you shine it in the lights, there is definitely some pink within it, which is super stunning. I love that they added that in there instead of just leaving it as a basic gold. The next shade in the palette is Orange Soda. It's described as a ultra matte pastel peach. It's a super stunning orange toned brown basically. I would have to say it's more orange than brown, but you get the gist. It's very gorgeous for in the crease. Next, moving on, we're going on to Rose Pink, described on the website as rose gold with a soft pink iridescent hue. Definitely agree with that. It's so iridescent and just glitters in the light so beautifully. Now moving on to Sultry, another really buttery, nice shimmer, which is a hybrid satin metallic finish warm chocolate brown. That's a mouthful, but I would have to agree. There is definitely some brown within it, but also some pink, so definitely perfect if you're someone who doesn't want to wear a ton of color, but you want just a little hint of pink in there. So the next shade is Bronze, which is a super stunning straight gold shade, which is described as a metallic gold brown. I've been really attracted to this shade. I feel like it's absolutely stunning, blends like a dream like the others, and gives any golden eye look that extra pop that it needs. Next, moving on, we have the shade Mulberry. Mulberry is a ultra matte mulberry, pretty self-explanatory on the website, and it's kind of this more maroony toned brown. I'm actually wearing it today. I had no issues with it. It blended like a dream, and I absolutely love it. Moving on, we have the shade Dusty Rose. Dusty Rose is an ultra matte dusty lilac. Again, pretty self-explanatory. It kind of has a little bit more of a cool tone to kind of counteract the very warm toned shades in this palette. Moving on, we have Fairy. Fairy is a multi-dimensional light gold. I don't know what multi-dimensional means, but it is a very buttery formula and it's super reflective. So if that's what they were going for, then I would have to agree. Next, moving on, we have Burnt Orange, which is an ultra matte deep orange as it states on the website. Burnt Orange is the perfect shade to add some depth into your crease, onto your eyelid for an all matte eye. Super, super pretty, versatile shade. Next, we have the shade Sienna. Sienna is a ultra matte earthy brown. Sienna is a little bit more of a warm toned brown, a little bit darker than burnt orange. Super pretty, nice matte shade. Next, moving on, we have Rustic, which is an ultra matte deep cinnamon brown. I love that they said it was cinnamon brown. Super pretty for the crease, all over the lid for a nice brown smoky eye, whatever you're going for. Nice shade to have. And next we have Cypress Umber. Cypress Umber is a ultra matte dark coffee. It is a nice dark cool toned brown. It would work really nicely with Dusty Rose and Rose Pink. That would create such a beautiful look. I'm just now thinking of that and I might have to do it. And next we have Noir. I cannot say that word. Please do not roast me. It's described as an ultra matte deep carbon black. And it's a little bit more buildable. It's not full-on pigment as a black, but I kind of prefer that because sometimes some blacks can kind of overtake your look, and it's better if they're a little bit more buildable. So now let's talk about the Amrezy highlight. Everyone is absolutely going crazy for this highlighter. It's understandable why. It's super reflective, gold-toned highlighter. The Amrezy highlighter retails for $28. It comes in this very nice, heavy packaging, and it just says Amrezy right there, and it has little stars and kind of this rose gold on the perimeter in the front. I'll do a quick swatch for you guys. Here it is, just on my finger. Can you see that little reflective area on my hand? And if you watch my demo, you'll see I used some MAC Fix Plus with it to make it work a little bit better for my pale skin tone. So I've absolutely been obsessed with this highlighter recently. I'm not a huge gold highlighter person, but this one I can definitely make an exception for. It's stunning, and I've been using it non-stop. You can get your hands on this while it's available. I believe it's limited edition, so before you know it, she'll be gone. Next, moving on, we can talk about the bronzers. Now, I'm not a huge bronzer person. The only bronzer I really have is Hoola by Benefit, and I still don't really wear it that much, but it does add some nice warmth to the skin. Now, if you did not know, bronzer and contour are two different things. Sometimes people get them confused, even I do sometimes, and when I first started out, I thought they were the exact same thing. But contour is basically a cool-toned powder that you can add to the perimeter, to your cheekbones, to your nose, pretty much anywhere that you want to receive and add a shadow to. So that's why you see a lot of people contouring their cheekbones to make them look a little bit more defined and sunken in looking. Whereas bronzer is kind of a warm toned powder that you can add to the perimeters of your face just to make you look a little bit more sun-kissed, tan, just kind of add some life to your face, give you some color, and make you look a little bit more alive. So let's talk about the shades, and I will swatch them on my arm. I know that all these shades do not work for my skin tone, but I think that if I swatch them for you guys, it'll kind of give you a better chance of what shade might work best for you. So the bronzers retail for $28 per bronzer. So the first shade of bronzers in the collection is called Rosewood. It's described on the website as a light golden shade, so it's basically the lightest shade of all the bronzers, but it has more of a goldy tone to it. So if you're more gold toned or neutral, this shade will probably work best for you, especially if you're pale. The next shade is Tawny, and Tawny is described as a light terracotta brown, so it has a little bit more richness to it than the previous one. It might be a tad bit darker. Next we have the shade Rich Amber, which is described as a neutral honey shade. So if you're more neutral, you're kind of in the middle of shades, this might work best for you. Next we have the shade Cappuccino, and it's described on the website as a deep golden brown, so definitely for more deeper skin tones, and it has a more golden-y tint to it. Next we have the shade Saddle, which is described as a golden amber, so it has gold tones as well as some red in there, so if you're a little bit more deeper in skin tone, this will work beautifully on your skin. And lastly, of the deepest of all the shades, we have Mahogany, which is described as a nice mocha shade on the website. So this is the deepest of all their bronzers. If you are a deep skin tone, definitely look into this one. I know swatches can kind of be deceiving sometimes, especially when they're on someone's skin who is not like anywhere close to yours, but these products are going to be in stores very soon if they're not already, so definitely go into stores, swatch them for yourself, and see how they work best for you before buying if you feel more comfortable that way. So moving on to the lipsticks, we're going to talk about what they say on the website Anastasia liquid lipsticks retail for $20 and the new shades are no different. I'm going to read what the shade descriptions are on the website. The first shade we have is Grim. It's described as a grayish, which I'm guessing means a gray beige. So it basically is just that. It's a very gray toned, nice nude shade. Next we have the shade Malt, and on the website it's described as a chocolate brown. And I would have to agree with that. It's a very warm toned brown, kind of looks like chocolate, so perfect shade description for that one. Okay, so next we have the shade Poet, which is described as a dusty mauve. It's more of a muted pink shade. Very pretty, perfect for the everyday pink wearing gal. Next we have Bohemian, which is actually the shade I'm wearing right now. I absolutely love this shade. I feel like it kind of goes with any look. On the website it's described as a cedar brown. Next we have the shade Bittersweet. Bittersweet on the website is described as a brown plum, and it is brown, but it does have some cool tones within it, so I could see where they got the plum from. We have the shade Dazed. It's described as redwood. It's kind of a deep pink shade, I would have to say. Next we have the shade Hudson, and the swatch on the website looks a lot deeper than it is in person. I feel like it's a lot lighter. It looks more brown on the website, and on the website it's described as a faded terracotta. Next we have the shade Maud, and it's described as a cedar brown. Didn't we see something else? Bohemian's described as a cedar brown as well. So these are both, this is Bohemian and this is Maude. They're both described as a cedar brown. Next we have the shade Insomniac, which is probably my favorite shade of the whole collection. It's an absolutely stunning teal shade. On the website it's described as a faded teal. It's super stunning. I've never seen a shade very similar to this. I wore it the other day and I absolutely fell in love with this shade. I want to wear it every single day. It's so different than what I'm used to seeing for liquid lipsticks, and I think this is going to be my new go-to shade. Next we have the shade Requiem. Requiem is described as a metallic blackened teal. It has some reflex in it if you look up close. But yeah, this is not a brand new shade. It's been released. It suits the shades in the new launch so well, so I'm glad that they included this one. And last but not least, we have the shade Nocturnal. On the Anastasia Beverly Hill website, it's described as an indigo blue. It's basically just a nice matte navy blue. Super pretty. I love these shades with nice golden lids. So yeah, definitely pick this one up if you're looking for a new navy blue lipstick. So that's basically it for the overview portion of the video, and now we're going to get on to the demo. So to start off on the tutorial section, I'm going to take the Soft Glam palette, shocker, and I'm first going to dip into the shade Orange Soda and just slowly start blending that into the crease, just to give us a nice warm base. And I am going to kind of drag it out this way as well, because we're going for more of a cat eye look. And then just using a clean fluffy brush, I'm going to blend out the edges. This is just a Royal and Langnickel crease slash smudge brush. So next, using a Real Techniques Essential crease brush, I'm going to pick up the shade Rustic, and I'm just going to begin blending that underneath that warm shade we just laid down. And again, we're just going to draw that out into the cat eye shape that we're going for. And then just picking up some more Orange Soda and blending over top of that. Next, I'm going to take a Sigma E25 blending brush and pick up the shade Mulberry from Soft Glam. And I'm going to begin blending that at the bottom of all of those shadows we just blended out, just to give some more depth to the eye. So now that we've got our nice little cat eye with a nice gradient going on, I'm going to go ahead and cut the crease. So to cut the crease today, I'm going to be using the ABH concealer in the shade 0.5. And if you guys are beginners at cut creases and you're not very confident in them, I do have a tutorial all about cut creases that I will have linked in the little eye up here in one of the corners if you're interested in learning a little bit more about cut creases, because they are a little bit tricky to do. So the key is to try and get it to match the other one, but you know, they might just be sisters instead of twins. So while my eye is open, I want to be sure that the crease ends above my crease line so that there is no transfer when my eye is open If you watch my crease video, that'll make more sense. I'm not the best at explaining. So now picking up just a basic shading brush from BH Cosmetics, I'm going to go back into the Soft Glam palette and I'm going to pick up the shade Rose Pink. And I'm going to begin packing that all over the lid. Right up to where the crease meets the crease shadows. And I'm pretty much just going to stop at my outer corner because we're going to put a different shadow in this wing area right here. Next, I'm going to pick up the shade Fairy from the Soft Glam palette on that same brush. And I'm going to begin packing that on the inner corner of my eye. And kind of bring it into the center of the lid. And then after that, I'm going to pick up the shade Tempera, which is the lightest shade in the Soft Glam palette. And I'm going to put that in the very front of my eyelid. Next, I'm going to pick up the shade Cypress Umber, and I'm going to pack that lightly into the outer corner and drag it in and blend it lightly into that pink shade. And then just bring it out into this wing. And then on the tiny smudger side of this Royal and Langnickel brush, I'm just going to add a little bit of Noir, and I'm just going to blend that a little bit into this outer area of the crease because I need a little bit more dimension there. Okay, so that's basically the shadow done. So I'm going to go ahead and add a wing and some lashes, and I will be right back to move on to the next portion of the tutorial. Okay, so now that the eyes are done, we're going to move on to the face. And I am going to go ahead and do my face makeup up until I get to my bronzer and highlight because I do want to demo those for you guys. So I'm just going to go ahead and do my foundation, concealer, and get all that out of the way, and I will be right back to show you the Amrezy highlights and the Anastasia bronzers. Okay guys, so I just went ahead and added some contour to my face. So now I'm going to go ahead and dip into my shade of the Anastasia bronzer. This is the shade Rosewood. It's the lightest of all the bronzers. And I'm just going to tap in one time with this Wet n Wild brush. And just where my contour area is, I'm going to go right over top of it, a little bit above, with some of the bronzer. Just add a little bit more, and this is just adding some warmth to our face. You can be a little bit more all over the place with bronzer rather than contour. Contour's a little bit more cool toned. You don't want to be too cool toned. You want a little bit of warmth to your face to give you some life. So I'm just going to go ahead and add some blush, and then we will move on to the highlighter. So next up, I'm going to be adding the Amrezy highlighter just to make it pop a little bit more, because you guys know, if you watch me, I love a good pop and highlight. I like to add some MAC Fix Plus onto my brush. This is just a Morphe M511 brush for my highlighter. I'm just going to spray that, dip in to the Amrezy highlighter, and blend onto my face. As you can see, just upon first application, it is super gorgeous. I'm just gonna go ahead and add it to all the areas because I like a good glow. And then using a much more precise brush, this is the Anastasia in A14 is the name of it. And I'm just gonna use that to apply it down my nose because it's a little bit more precise. I feel like the little button on the tip of the nose always completes the look. And now lastly, to finish off this demo, I'm going to finish it off with a liquid lipstick. I'm going to go ahead and use the shade Bohemian by ABH. So that's it for the demo portion of this video. I really hope it helped you guys to see how these products perform on the face. So if you guys did find this video helpful, please don't forget to like, subscribe if you are not already, and don't forget to turn on my post notifications so you're notified right when I upload. Thanks again, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys!